So, in the update log for next week, they suggested that the mini easy mode rework is going to come. Now, obviously, that being a mini easy mode rework, is going to be something similar to what's seen in Polluted Wastelands 2, Pizza Party, and Badlands 2, where some enemies are added, some things are changed around, but at its core, it's going to be the same. Probably. After all, the main bosses in the game were kept around. So, for example, Polluted Wastelands 2 still kept the nuclear monster, Badlands 2 kept its gunslinger, and Pizza Party kept Wax the Fox. And in general, the enemies that were there previously were still kept around, and they were scaled around that. So, for example, the Husk is still a mid-game enemy that appears during the game. The minigunner from Pizza Party is like towards the end, and the Scout is towards the start. So it's round about there. That's why they're called mini reworks. Nothing's completely changed. Even though for Polluted Wastelands 2, I would call it more than a mini rework because it went from 40 to 25 waves. At its core, it's fundamentally changed. But you know what? Fair enough. Mini rework. So that is cause for speculation for the next rework, which is a easy mode rework. Now, people have suggested that easy mode is one of those game modes where it shouldn't have been reworked. In fact, I kind of agree. If you ask me, casual mode should be reworked before easy mode, because casual mode is the only mode where it doesn't have a unique boss. Well, yeah, it does kind of have a unique boss if you're doing it in this order, but intermediate mode was added first before casual mode. So technically, Patient Zero is casual mode stole from intermediate mode first rather than the other way around. So that's why I think casual mode is like one of the only modes without its own unique enemy for the boss. Also, it's one of the only modes without any unique enemies. So the only unique enemies here also appear in easy mode or intermediate mode. So in casual mode, normal, speedy, slow, normal boss, hidden, all of these enemies appear in easy mode. The armored Breaker 2, Breaker, Necromancer, Skeleton, slow boss, hidden boss, speedy boss, Breaker 4, Breaker 3, they also all appear in easy mode. Meanwhile, the Enraged and the Hazmat and Patient Zero are the only, I think the hidden boss also appears in easy mode, but these are the only enemies which exclusively appear in casual mode or intermediate mode rather than easy and casual mode. In fact, the slow boss only appears in easy and casual mode, not intermediate mode, where it's the only enemy I think to do this. Something like the Enraged, it appears in casual mode and intermediate mode, whereas there is actually one exclusive easy mode enemy, that being the Bolt. Yeah, exclusively appears in easy mode, whereas all of these enemies in casual mode, they're not unique to casual mode. So again, if you ask me, casual mode should be the one that should be changed. Especially for the fact that it reuses Patient Zero. What I suggested previously was that easy mode would get the dummy boss. So this is the boss that appears at the end of tutorial mode. I think easy mode should get the dummy boss, and the Gravedigger should be moved up to casual mode because the Gravedigger actually has abilities, whereas Patient Zero, the dummy boss, the best that it can do is shake the screen as it walks. I guess that kind of counts as an ability, but for most regards is not an ability. And honestly, quite frankly, easy mode should be one of those game modes where, you know, it should ease people into the game. There shouldn't be introduction of a boss that can stun towers or spawn in. I mean, I guess technically the Necromancer can spawn in enemies, but that should be the only ability really in easy mode. So I think the Gravedigger should be moved up to casual mode. And the dummy boss, if you were to do the easy mode quickly, easy mode rework very quickly in like a week, I think the dummy boss should be moved to the Gravedigger spot. However, given the fact that it says it's a mini easy mode rework, I expect there to be more unique enemies to easy mode, which would perhaps remove something like the armored, slow boss, speedy boss, you know, all of these enemies, which would make them casual mode exclusive. And while I still disagree with the fact that Patient Zero is here, it would make something like, I don't know, the armored, not the armored necessarily, but like the slow boss and stuff like that, as a speedy boss, exclusive to casual mode. And this mode could have like easier variants, like, I don't know, easy normal, easy speedy, easy slow, easy boss or something. And instead of 25 waves, you could have 20 waves because... Oh, actually, I don't think it's that much of an issue here because easy mode has 25 waves, casual has 30 waves, and so does intermediate. So, again, if you ask me, easy mode should have 20 waves, casual mode should have 25 waves, and intermediate mode should have 30 waves, and therefore that would concurrently run alongside Molten mode, which has 35 waves, and Fallen mode, which has 40 waves. You know, just do that. Just maybe do that. Simplify easy mode to be even easier than it is right now. Maybe reduce the amount of rewards from 250 coins to like 150 and the EXP from 50 to 30 or something. Again, this is meant to be easy mode. You're meant to ease people into it. 25 waves may be a little bit too much for those noobs to the game. And those people who should be new or should want a more challenging experience should go into casual mode. Again, for players who are looking for a casual experience instead of easy mode, which is for players who are new to the game or want a more relaxed experience, aka we don't want you to think about this. Now, there could be a returning of event enemies as there was in Badlands 2, Polluted Wastelands 2, but quite frankly, I don't actually know which event enemies would suit easy mode, given the fact that event enemies, by their very nature, are adapted to their event, whereas easy mode, they're meant to be generic models, like the normal, for example. Quite frankly, I don't actually know what event enemies could actually return. Maybe something like the noob, guess the trot. Maybe please donate enemies, actually, but given the fact that they are kind of simplistic and are Roblox themed enemies in general, and you know, it kind of could suit the theme of easy mode, you know, a fun whimsical mode, like, I don't know, you beat up cats like you're Kurt Zuma or something. I don't know, just my speculation on my end. Please donate enemies. Could be returning for easy mode. I doubt Corrupted Hasm would return as a boss for easy mode, though. I am assuming that the Gravedigger is staying put, but if the boss is replaced, you know, maybe Corrupted Hasm. Although that'd probably be too much promotion just for one person, and in case that person does something controversial, you never know. I don't know, failed gateway enemies returning, possibly, given that they're kind of simplistic as well. Maybe core blocks enemies, because they're like classic. I don't know. If you ask me, it will either be like classic enemies or the enemies from Please Donate that would return, if there were to be event enemies returning, which I don't think there would be. Or the core block Steph Walker returning. You never know. Core block Steph Walker for easy mode. Now, the reworked easy mode, I assume, would have to come before casual mode, because easy mode would need to get easier for there to slot in the new casual mode rework. I am assuming that there's going to be a casual mode rework, given the fact that they reuse the enemies from intermediate mode and easy mode. And I would assume that easy mode would have to come first, again, to set the stage of what is easiest in Tower Defense Simulator. I could be wrong, but I do sincerely hope that the developers actually rework casual mode. It's just too similar to intermediate mode as I see it right now. That's why I suggested reduce the amount of waves to 25, and maybe reduce the Triumph rewards to compensate for that, like 300 coins and 50 EXP. As for changes to easy mode, I don't really know. Maybe some less enemy spams, but then again, you are assumed to have the demo man, for example, from tutorial mode. So I don't think that's much of a big issue, having more enemy spam instead of, I don't know, just like one tanky boss spawning in or something. Given the fact that you don't really have that. You have like scouts and soldiers and snipers. So I guess having multiple enemies that are weak rather than having one high health enemy, probably better. But yeah, those are my thoughts. I just think casual mode will get reworked after easy mode get reworked, even though people have said casual mode should be the one that gets reworked. I know, but I think easy mode needs to be reworked to be easier for there to be a slot for casual mode between easy mode and intermediate mode. The developers have said to keep an eye out on socials for more information about the mini easy mode rework, but they've actually not posted anything, and I don't think they'll post anything until the day of the update, around 2 hours beforehand, with like a trailer saying, oh look, here's some new enemies that we brought back from Please Donate, or Area 51, or Metaverse Champions. You could, Faye Yoshida, you know? Faye Yoshida could return. What else? I mean, technically, the toilet mode enemies, they were easy mode enemies, technically, so if the developers really wanted unique enemies in easy mode, just bring back toilet mode. But no, that's why I'm speculating, because they actually haven't said anything. And other than the mini easy mode rework, they've actually not said what could be in this next update as well. I doubt it's going to be something major, given the fact that we did have 3 major-ish game mode reworks. Even though the developer said they are mini, I think they're kind of bigger than that. And given the fact that we know the developers are working on the Easter event, I'd probably think that they will slow down in terms of the amount of game mode reworks that they're going to do, or the scale of it. Then again, the developers have said they do concurrently work on updates back-to-back, or, well, concurrently. So it probably won't affect what was going to happen. So this update was probably planned like 2 weeks in advance. So yeah, you never know.